Joining us now from Washington is Democratic Congressman Anthony Weiner of New York. Congressman Weiner, it's good to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
I understand that the House is in session and dealing with health reform issues right now. What can you tell us about whether or not a vote is expected tomorrow and whether or not House Democrats have the votes?
Well, it's still very close. We're considering now what kind of rule to bring up, what kind of amendments, if any, to have. Look, it's going to be very tight. You know, there is an enormous amount of concern about various elements of the bill, and we're doing this entirely alone. The Republicans have offered no help. They seem to take great pride in being oppositionist on health care reform, but I think we're going to do it, and I think we're going to do it tomorrow.
What do you attribute to what appears to be a mild case of political cold feet among conservative House Dems?
Well, this is one of the things that we're trying to address. You know, I made a challenge that for every one supporter of Bachmann that came to the House steps, that we would get 5 people signing up on countdowntohealthcare.com to say they want a public health plan and that they want national health care. The problem is, you know, you can't overstate how powerful the health care industry is in this town. They are throwing everything but the kitchen sink at it, and frankly, members are doing some pretty tough things here, and I think they're to be commended for the fact that we are at 218, or at least very close.
On the eve of the big vote, I know the health insurance lobby has again weighed in, outlining their vehement opposition to health reform passing. At this point, politically speaking, is having the health industry out there so overtly against reform actually sort of politically useful for getting reform passed?
It is and it isn't. You know, it's helping us animate the public to be involved here, because I think that they're overselling their case a little bit. You know, the Republican caucus just recently came out with a bill that was almost literally written by the insurance industry. It's everything the insurance industry wanted. This is a classic grassroots type of operation. This is not going to come from Congress. This is coming from the grassroots up. The irony of the teabagger movement is it's actually animating a lot more people. Just yesterday, I had 20,000 additional people sign up at countdowntohealthcare.com because they saw these people who are not in touch with the mothership coming here to Washington, and they were animated to help. So we're getting the push we need, but we really need it now more than ever, and hopefully the president is going to also weigh in strongly.
Well, of course, they say there was some of them say at least, that there were over 1 million Michelle Bachmann anti-health reform protesters there yesterday. So if there really were over 1 million, that's going to be hard to match, and you don't have to answer that at all. I think it's stupendous. The idea behind Michelle Bachmann's big anti-health reform rally, obviously, yesterday was that white voters should go see the whites of the eyes of their congressman and tell them what they think. Did you, in addition to getting some more interest in reform via your website, Countdown to the website that you've set up, did you have any face-to-face run-ins with the Bachmann protesters yesterday?
Well, I have a great office in that it's on the first floor, and I had said on other shows that I challenged them to come by, and I was glad to meet with them. I think I know why they are such a high count. One of them seems to have 6 or 7 personalities. They like health care reform when it's Medicare, but they don't like government-funded health care. They don't like government health care except when they have to have a heart attack on the mall like one person did. Then they're eager to get it. But I engaged them as much as they wanted to be engaged, and very often they really just wanted to call me names, and with a name like Weiner, I'm a pretty easy target.
Democratic Congressman Anthony Weiner of New York. We know that's one of the reasons you grew up to be really tough. Thanks for your time tonight, sir. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Rachel.